Today, I want to talk to you about the psychology around traveling and training, and then some ideas on what to do while you're traveling so that you don't feel like you're losing everything. One of the most challenging things emotionally for climbers is dealing with their life schedule and making sure that they can get the climbing and training in that they want. When we first do program design with people, we ask them what their week schedule looks like, and then the next main thing we ask about is like, do you have any big things coming up? Do you have to go to a wedding? Are you going to be going on a family vacation? Are there big chunks of time that you're going to leave your normal climbing and training routine? The answer is inevitably yes. I do have to leave. I have to go on this 2-week vacation. I'm going to be gone for work this 1 week. And we take those times, we put them in the calendar so that when we have that whole training calendar for the next year lined up, we know those things are coming. And even though they're in the training calendar and we can plan around them, there's inevitably stress around that because most of us can't go and simulate our exact training in any other facility than the one we always train in. Okay, the first part is it's okay to take some time off. And probably the simplest thing to do when you go on vacation is go on vacation and stay active and try to eat fairly closely to the way that you would eat at home. These are tall orders, but most climbers can't even make that happen. Instead, we obsessively decide we need to bring our flashboard with us and hang it on the bottom of grandma's staircase. The main thing there is, yeah, that's great. You can keep your fingers nice and strong, but you don't have to break records in a place that you really don't have the facility to overload yourself properly. So when you go on a trip, if it's less than 4 days, I would say just stay active. Make sure you go out and walk 30 minutes a day, do something, and try to stay close to your normal eating. A small note on eating while traveling. Simply, we want to try to continue to get lots of whole, good foods, things that are very close to fresh, lean proteins, etc., and try to avoid packaged stuff. Packaged stuff is so easy to come by when we're traveling in airports and at hotels or going to restaurants where they're adding a lot of things to meals and building bigger meals than we normally would. We just tend to not feel that great. And it's not about gaining or losing weight or anything like that. It's just about trying to keep the system running at optimal capacity. If you're on the road for 5 or more days, it's going to start to be important that you continue to do some exercise. If you're in a hotel weight room, which are designed to be bad for training as far as I'm concerned, you're going to end up with a set of dumbbells and like 3 ellipticals packed into a little tiny room. What we want to do there is try to make the most of the time. First, plan really short sessions. One of the things I love to do is say, I'm going to do 10 minutes of a small circuit. I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to do some rows with these dumbbells. I'm going to do some squats with these dumbbells. I'm going to do 5 to 8 reps of each thing, and I'm just going to go through that circuit for 10 minutes. When I get to the end of that 10 minutes, I'm going to pick 3 other exercises, do a circuit of those for 10 minutes. Yeah, we're outside the zone for your normal strength. We're using different exercises than you usually use, and we're probably not near the duration you would normally train, but we're bridging the gap between high quality sessions at home. What we want to do is get some activity if we're stuck in a hotel weight room. If I have no weights, I can come up with a body weight circuit that I can follow. I want to get outside and do some walking and moving around. And if I get to go to another climbing gym, let's make the most of that facility and play with everything that they've got there. You can still do limit bouldering, or you can do circuits, or you can use the weight room. But the most important thing is to have an enjoyable time and understand that you're probably not going to have an optimal session. Travel doesn't have to be a stressor on your training mind. Travel can be exciting, it can be fun, and it can really, really help us break out of any ruts that we've developed at our home gym. I think that every time I get to visit a new gym, I become a more inspired and enlightened person as far as training goes. I'm more able to be creative in my own gym when I see what other people are doing. So if you're traveling more than 5 days, I think it's sensible to say, I'm gonna do a long walk on day 1, I'm gonna do a strength or climbing session on day 2, and keep your programming that simple. Walk, climb, walk, climb. Commit to that level of activity because you're doing a lot different than you would normally do at home. And most of us are much more effective at training when we're in our home gym. So get a walk through the town, make something happen there, and get into the gym and have some fun. A little bit of strength training, a little bit of bouldering. You're gonna come back home and you're not gonna have lost anything, and you probably will have kept yourself from getting some overuse injuries.